Hello friends, welcome back. This is Himanshu Verma. In the previous lecture, we observed a book which was at rest on a table. In that case, two forces were acting on the book. First one is force due to gravity mg and second one is contact force N. Now suppose we take one more scenario in which we apply a force F on the book and this book starts moving in horizontal direction on the table. In that case, one more type of contact force will come into picture and that force will oppose the motion of the book in horizontal direction. That force is known as frictional force. So frictional force is also a type of contact force and it comes into picture when an object slides or try to slide over a surface. The main difference between these two contact forces are this contact force capital N always act perpendicular to the surface and this frictional force always act along the surface and against the movement of the object. Now question arises, what is the value of this frictional force? Just like this normal reaction force N, frictional force is also self-adjusting. Value of this frictional force will depend upon characteristic of the surface. If surface is rough, then its value would be large. And if surface is smooth, then its value would be small. मतलब यह है कि रफ सरफेस के लिए फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स की वैल्यू ज्यादा होगी और चिकने सरफेस के लिए फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स की वैल्यू कम होगी. Now surface is either rough or smooth. That would be defined by an parameter which is known as coefficient of friction, denoted by mu. So large value of mu shows high roughness and its small value shows smooth surface. So this is one parameter on which frictional force depends. Now second parameter on which frictional force depends is normal reaction N. If this normal reaction force is large, then frictional force would also be large. Therefore we can say that frictional force F is equal to mu into N. But as I said earlier, frictional force is also self-adjusting force. This F is equal to mu N is the maximum possible value of frictional force. Suppose we are applying an force F on the book and book is not sliding horizontally. Then it means this applied force F is less than mu N. In that case, frictional force F is equal to applied force capital F. So we can draw a graph also. Suppose along x-axis we are showing applied force F on the book and along vertical y-axis we are showing frictional force small f. Now maximum value of small f can be mu N. So we mark it here. Now we start increasing capital F from 0. As we increase capital F, small f also increases and this angle is 45 degree. Means slope of this line is 1 because tangent 45 is 1. In this region, capital F and small f value will remain same and in this region, book will not slide. Now as the capital F value crosses mu N, which is the maximum possible value of friction, then book starts sliding because frictional force can't increase its value greater than mu N. So we simply remember that when the object has started moving, then frictional force would be mu N. Otherwise its value would be equal to applied force which is trying to move the object. Now after having this much knowledge, now we see inclined plane problem. Suppose this is an inclined plane and an object is placed over it. Coefficient of friction between object and inclined plane is mu and mass of the object is small m. So these three things are given: angle of inclination theta, coefficient of friction mu and mass of object small m. And now question is, if under this situation this object slides on the inclined plane, then by which acceleration this object will slide on the inclined plane? So to solve this problem, first of all we will draw free body diagram of the object. In free body diagram, we show all forces which are acting on the object. So in this example, mainly three forces are acting on the object. First is force due to gravity, which would be downward and its value would be mg. Second is contact force 1, because there is a contact between inclined plane and object, That's why a contact force will come into picture which would be perpendicular to the surface, and it is shown by capital N. So this is one type of contact force. Second, because it is mentioned that object is sliding, so therefore one more contact force will come into picture which is frictional force, and it would be against the movement. Because object is sliding like this, so frictional force value would be like this, or we can say this contact force is parallel to the surface. So always remember, one contact force is perpendicular to the surface and second contact force is parallel to the surface. Perpendicular contact force is known as normal reaction and parallel contact force is known as force of friction. So these three forces will act on the object. So now question is how to find the acceleration by which this object is sliding. Now in our mind, it is very much clear that this object is sliding on the inclined plane only due to force of gravity. Means this mg force is responsible for its sliding on the inclined plane. However, mg force is acting downward, but this force has one component in the direction of inclined plane, and that component is responsible for the movement of the object. So in these kind of problems, always follow this rule, that is, after drawing the free body diagram, break all forces in the direction of movement of the object and perpendicular to the movement of the object. तो मतलब यह है कि फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम ड्रॉ करने के बाद जो भी फोर्सेस आपने उस ऑब्जेक्ट पर दिखाए हैं, उन फोर्सेस को आप एक तो उस डायरेक्शन में तोड़ लीजिए जिस डायरेक्शन में ऑब्जेक्ट मूव कर रहा है, और दूसरा कंपोनेंट उस डायरेक्शन में लीजिए जो मूवमेंट के परपेंडिकुलर है. नाउ इन दिस प्रॉब्लम, इफ वी ऑब्जर्व फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम, then three forces are acting on it. If we look at force of friction small f, then it is already in the direction of movement. Actually, I should say it is in the line of movement. So there is no need to break this force. Now if we observe capital N, then it is already in the line which is perpendicular to the movement. So this force is also no need to break, क्योंकि force of friction movement की लाइन में है और कैपिटल N फोर्स मूवमेंट के परपेंडिकुलर वाली लाइन में है, इसलिए इन फोर्सेस को तोड़ने की जरूरत नहीं है. अब हम थर्ड फोर्स mg को ऑब्जर्व करते हैं. नाउ वी ऑब्जर्व थर्ड फोर्स mg. इट इज नाइदर इन द लाइन ऑफ मूवमेंट नोर इन द लाइन परपेंडिकुलर टू द मूवमेंट. सो दिस फोर्स हैज टू ब्रेक. We can take two components of this force, one in the line of movement and second perpendicular to the movement. Now question arises, what would be these components value? These components value will depend upon this angle of inclination theta. If this inclination angle is theta, then by simple geometry, this angle would also be theta. To learn shortcut to find this angle, please watch the video whose link is given in description box. Because in this example, this vector is perpendicular to this surface and this vector is perpendicular to this surface, that's why this angle would be theta. So now this component would be mg cos of theta and this component would be mg sin of theta. Now we have broken mg force in its two components, mg cos of theta and mg sin of theta. Now if I redraw the free body diagram, then it will look like this. Now I don't need to show mg force because I have already shown mg force in the form of its two components. Now I can easily apply Newton's second law of motion. Along this line, means perpendicular to the surface, there is no motion of object. So net force on the object in this line should be 0. It gives us capital N is equal to mg cos of theta. Now if we observe this line, then in this line the object is moving in this direction and suppose it is moving with acceleration a. So it means a net force ma is acting on the object in this direction. We can write force equation, that is mg sin of theta minus small f is equal to ma. इसका मतलब है जो mg sin of theta फोर्स है वो ma अमाउंट ज्यादा है फोर्स ऑफ फ्रिक्शन से, तभी तो यह ऑब्जेक्ट a एक्सेलरेशन के साथ इस डायरेक्शन में मूव कर रहा है. सो दिस इज द राइट इक्वेशन. नाउ इन दिस इक्वेशन we can replace small f by mu n. Because object is moving, that's why maximum friction force would be acting on the object, whose value is mu n. Now we can put value of n is equal to mg cos of theta. So we get this equation. We have just replaced n with mg cos of theta. Small m is cancelled out and we get a is equal to g sin of theta minus mu g cos of theta. Here g value is known, mu value is known and theta value is known. So we can easily find value of a. So friends, we stop here. In the next lecture we will learn about pulley and string related problems. We will solve some examples too. Please like and share the video and subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.